This is Dolany TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today. Let me tell you, the sun reflecting off that white siding outside, she is pretty hard on the eyes, but we're going to get through this one because I think this is an important discussion we got to have. It's something that pops up every once in a while in the comments section, every once in a while in journalist reporting, and that's why we're talking about it today. Kurt Levin's making mention of it this evening or last night, this morning, whenever he releases 9 things in your mind. But either way, friends, if you're new to the channel, I want you to consider hitting that subscribe button right there. You thought I wasn't going to get to the graphic, but I did. Definitely would love to have you aboard for more Edmonton Oilers discussion here. A little tired this morning. It's been a long past, about 4 nights in a row here, so hurting at this point, even if it is 10:55 in the morning as I record this. But as we get going, friends, the Oilers, well, they need players to be, they need more players to be better. I don't know how do you really word this. They need different elements to be better, right? And I think that's where you're looking at. Everyone's saying, well, we lost toughness in Clem Costin. We need a bigger defenseman. We need a big centerman. We need a big winger, right? You're talking all about these dimensions that the Oilers don't have. But what we kind of have missed over the past, I want to say about 2 months since we were eliminated by the Vegas Golden Knights, is the fact that we are missing a couple of key things from guys that already exist on the roster, and that is consistent levels of play and also health. And when we're talking about that, we're talking about Leon Draisaitl, Evander Kane, and Cody Ceci, right? These are all guys that you've heard me talk at points this year about their health. Now, Cody Ceci came into camp, was a little banged up. I don't think he ever fully recovered. I think they kind of forced him into it because they just knew that Jason Demers wasn't going to be the guy to cut it. So Cody Ceci greenlit going at the start of the year, and well, you know what? It turned out to be an all right year. We got to the second round, Game 6. That's not a failure by any means, but thankfully for the Oilers, we know he can be better when healthy, right? Everyone's like, well, if Cody Ceci could return to 2021, 2022 form, literally, if he's not injured, that's what he should be able to do in 23, 24. So for us this year, that's going to be a key addition on the blue line, right? Everyone's like, well, Cody Ceci's bottom pairing defenseman. Yes, last year Cody Ceci would have been best suited to play very minimal minutes. This year, if he's fully healthy, he slots back into that middle six role, and all of a sudden you have Evan Bouchard, Matthias Ekholm as your top pair. Darnell Nurse is still your minute munching defenseman, but obviously Matthias Ekholm and Evan Bouchard do their thing as a very pivotal players and line on the Oilers defense. So that's Cody Ceci, right? That one's pretty simple. We've talked a lot about it. Leon Draisaitl, this is why we're talking about it today, is Kurt Levin's once again mentioned that I guess Leon Draisaitl's injury, and it's something that's been mentioned here, there, and everywhere in little passings, is that it lingered all season long. Like it affected his off-season training last year, and then coming into this past season, it was still lingering around and kind of holding him back a little bit. He put up 128 points, but right, Draisaitl's probably not 100% going into the playoffs, and then he gets slashed by Alex Pietrangelo too, which, look at the records, I believe he did not score another goal after that, so figure it out from there, right? Is there's a couple of things for Leon Draisaitl that just held him back from reaching that next level that Kurt Levin's mentioned in his article as well today. So that's one of those situations, yeah, is that sucky, but I mean, Leon Draisaitl is probably the least impact injury we had all year, so we're not going to worry about that too much. Leon Draisaitl returning to full health, though, could bode well and signal well for the Edmonton Oilers going into another playoff run in, what, April next year? Whew. April next year, friends, just by the way, is 9 months away. Less than 9 months, 8.5 months away. That's crazy. And then Evander Kane, right? And I think this is one that a lot of people that'll say, well, are the Oilers worse or better than they were last year at this point? The biggest thing that we have going for us this year is these three guys' health. but in particular Evander Kane. He's struggled with kind of situations that more or less out of his control as an Oilers player so far. A fractured rib, broken rib, whatever you want to say, and then as well a severe cut on his wrist that impacted him for not just the time he was out of the lineup, but the entire season as well as he went through the playoffs and through the rest of the regular season. And the tough part there is everyone's going to say, well, he's getting older, he's getting injury prone. Yeah, a cut on the wrist from a freak incident on the ice, that's not injury prone. So when you look at that in a whole, is if Evander Kane continues, which I think he has, to rehab, he continues to work it, he's playing in a beer league supposedly, is he continues to just try and make sure it returns 100% to form for puck drop on night one of the season next year against Vancouver. And guess what? That is a very good sign, because that is going to be a key piece of the Oilers' top six, right? Is you talk about, well, is Connor Brown going to be good enough? If Evander Kane doesn't return to form on the Oilers' top six, then we've got bigger problems. Connor Brown is a calculated gamble. Evander Kane has got to be a certainty. So that's where we're hoping Kane comes back fully healthy, fully ready to go, and maybe be able to punch a couple guys in the face to stand up for teammates to replace what we lost in Clem Costin, and then we're good to go, because that would be huge to have the full force of Evander Kane back in the lineup. Obviously, he's a key member of this team and a guy that just kind of walked on and made a difference immediately. So we're hoping that that's what Evander Kane brings to this Edmonton Oilers team again next year. And obviously a fully healed wrist should allow him to do that. Leon Draisaitl being able to be fully mobile out there, fully trained for a summer, and two, also being able to go through the playoffs, probably avoid those stupid plays like Pietrangelo made. That would be a huge gift for us in the playoffs. And Cody Ceci being able to be a little more agile out there, be able to turn a bit better, and be able to move his feet overall much better. That would be a big difference for the Oilers on the back end. So when it comes to the Oilers needing to be better internally, these are the three guys you're going to see make the biggest difference, right? You can't ask Connor McDavid to do much more. Can't ask Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to do much more. The bottom six is always going to be the bottom six. That's what I've learned in the past 5 years. So we'll just make do with what we have at this point, whatever happens, happens. And the defense, realistically, Cody Ceci turning things around could be the only piece needing to change on that Oilers blue line. Friends, I'm Tyson, this is Stolany TV. This was tough to get through. I am hurting this morning, but we will talk to you a little later on. I am up on Oda here.